Hey, it's Royalty in Real Life podcast. This is All Hair the Queen, and today I'm going to be talking about family. Very sensitive topic for me, so I don't want to get emotional. I think I'm ready to talk though, and I'm going to try and talk for 15 minutes and not breathe into this microphone so much. Processing emotions. So there's lots of heavy breathing, etc. Prioritizing health. I've been away, and so I've returned to my podcast because I believe in it. I believe in my podcast. I believe in myself. I believe in my life and my family. That's me and my daughter. We have a beautiful family dynamic. I love us. We do have our own channel, and I'm maintaining it pretty well. I think it's becoming uh, the love and light that it's supposed to be to the future, if that makes sense. So expect great things from our channel. High Royalty, that's Hell and Evie. H plus I, H and I Royalty, High Royalty. It's just absolute that is perfect. That's perfect. It's destined. It's beautiful. That me as a mom is just a completely beautiful person. Like it's almost different. It's almost different from what you might see from my The Homegirl Ho channel, where I discuss all of my sort of mental health issues. But I am overall pretty consistent with myself, my content, meaning like I'm myself. I'm not pretending to be anybody. But when I discuss my mental health, I just get real about what I experience and I get real about how I feel about it. I get real about my thoughts about it. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Like freedom of speech uncensored, saying the quiet part out loud. I believe that that's encouraging, especially just to someone like myself. Growing up, I was very suppressed in my feelings, the way that I thought, how I was able to process my emotions as a child is not too different from how I'm processing my emotions as an adult. And I think that's a horrible thing. And that's something that I'm doing obviously off camera. It's a little too personal. So I definitely stepped away for about a good year and a half. I am front and center. I am present with my podcast. But anyways, so on the topic of family, I do want to talk about what's going on out there in families, estrangement, and what I feel like is being pushed like it's very toxic. The content that's out there about adult children and how they feel about their parents and the resentment that they have from their childhood and how that's supposed to justify being estranged. Like a social worker said to me, everything is case by case, etc., which I guess makes sense. It makes sense that each person has their own experience and it's not a general rule, like as far as like, oh, that's right or wrong. I think that's why people feel so responsible to providing explanation, so that they could get as many people to vote for them on their side, that they're right, that they did the right thing. I do think families are supposed to be united. With my own personal experience, I have like reasons. I have legitimate reasons like why I don't communicate with the people that I grew up with. Like, I feel, I don't know, there's a sadness about it, but there's also an empowerment, and that's what Royalty in Real Life is all about. Royalty in Real Life podcast is it's a very empowering channel. It's about strength. For me, if anybody was to look at me and my situation that I'm dealing with currently, which I hate to call it a situation, but I mean, it's just not my reality. And if I go back to my childhood and have a coloring book where I would create this picture perfect family, it doesn't look like what I would have created myself. So obviously at that point, I'm now dealing with a situation. I'm dealing with whatever is going on around me, and so it's affected the picture that I would have created for myself, or that I would consider to be perfect picture. But what I've learned is that I do have this incredible power within me to create and to move and to have what I want in life. When I went to all of the social media platforms for it, there's just a bunch of toxicity. It's being normalized. I mean, it's obviously about what's right, what I feel is right, what I think is right, what I feel is safe for me, what I feel is healthy for me. Life is lifing, and the world doesn't stop turning like for anybody. So I think the sooner the better, that anybody can hurry up and move on from a situation is great. Number one, the estrangement with families, though, if you don't like something, change it. And I heard someone say that we accept what we don't change or something like that, but sometimes it's just not our responsibility to change it. And I feel incredibly responsible. I feel seriously obligated. So the effect that the situation has had on me just hasn't been a good feeling. Estrangement is just not the way. And I want my daughter to understand that. Estrangement, that's going the wrong way. That's just how I seriously feel about it. We have to unite, we have to stay connected, we have to maintain our loving, beautiful, a special family dynamic relationship as mother and daughter. The dynamic duo that there is no other of. Like, name a better duo. There isn't. Some of the best ways to maintain our unity is to highlight all of our strengths and everything that makes us beautiful, everything that we naturally are, and in truth and honesty, celebrating all of those facts about us. It's not that we're trying to create what we're not or be what we're not or act in any way. And I feel like I've experienced that process of growth and development within myself where tried to go this way, tried to be that way, and I was just growing, and that's okay. It's okay to try new things and try to see what works. If that wasn't who I was, or if that wasn't really what I was doing, but that's just where I was at the time, that's okay. It's just a beautiful thing to evolve in life. And I love to celebrate every milestone that we achieve, everything about us that highlights all of our best qualities and characteristics. I just love that about us. I love our truth. That's what Royalty in Real Life podcast is all about. That's what I'm here to do on my podcast, not just to celebrate myself, but to celebrate my daughter. I always remind her that she's royalty in real life. So I love to celebrate us and all that we are. I always say that us, meaning me and my daughter, talking about family in light of being royalty. And I am going to highlight the royal feud that's been happening with, I think their names are Meghan and Harry. If that isn't their names, I don't know. I guess I should really just have my stuff together if I'm going to discuss or reference anybody's story. But I think that's their name. I'm pretty sure because I've looked at a lot of their videos. I watched some of their interview. I loved that they went to Tonga, which is where my roots are from, the island of Tonga, Tonga, the last remaining kingdom, like in the Pacific Ocean, which I love. And well, the way that they pronounce it is Tonga, which sounds like it's spelled with a D. D for diamond. Okay, because it has been said that Tonga is like the jewel of the ocean, which is so beautiful, despite all of my childhood trauma. So I have to really stay connected to my identity in order to maintain like my own standards. I always say standards high, tolerance low, and never backwards. It's all hail the queen. Like that's really my name. That's it's on my birth certificate. Like it's not like I didn't just make that up. Like all hail the queen. Like that's actually my name. Anyways, so I really love that they went out there to they meaning I don't know, is he still the prince and duchess? I'm oh my god, I sound dumb. I sound so uneducated. Like I have no idea what their roles are in their royal family life, but I love that they visited Tonga. I love that they're pioneers in a sense that they're trailblazers. They're kind of like going against the grain in that they're not like just they're just not going to settle for what they're not going to tolerate, and I love that. But I've just like it's really disheartening to think that something like that could break up a royal family that's supposed to be like your royalty. Like this is something that's been for years, for decades, for centuries. Royal family ties is just not something that you could just change like just because like I feel like there's a responsibility, there are duties, and there's something that you're supposed to feel obligated to uphold, in terms of like family standards. I feel like the standard that I set with myself and my daughter is it's pretty high, but I'm like a normal human being. Like I walk around with my t-shirt hair and my hair all frizzy. Like I'm a normal human being, and my daughter's a normal teenager. It's not like we're over here riding around on our high horse or our horse and carriage or anything like that. Which I would love, which I absolutely love that. That's actually a reality. Like that's not like for a show or like a whole like it's just so cool to see like all of the horses and like the horse and carriage. I just love royalty. I love the royalty lifestyle. I love royalty glam fashion. I love royalty fashion. I love the way that royalty speaks. When they speak, it's very elegant. It's very eloquent. It's very classy. And I just feel like I will want to strive to achieve that standard, and to just be extra fancy for no real reason other than this is like I'm representing my culture, I'm representing my bloodline, I'm representing my beliefs, I'm representing like everything that I believe in, and that's important to me. So I want to do my best, right? And so I really don't understand anybody that doesn't align with that. So I just feel it's very interesting, and I think a lot of people think that it's interesting that the prince would have married outside and then try to change everything to kind of customize those preferences. I feel like is kind of disrespectful. Like, but like who does this person think they are? Like I don't know, but I also feel like shout out to them for being strong in their beliefs, and they're creating like this complete series of their love story with their family. I think that's absolutely great and beautiful and inspiring to anybody that feels um, restricted. And for me, I just believe in being able to communicate, being yourself, etc. So there's so many ways to just understand that situation with them, etc. And I have kind of studied that relationship a little bit to try to see like how are they dealing with the estrangement, because I just feel like it's so devastating. It's just so devastating for that that's just devastating to separate like that. I just feel like it's not allowed. And I know that that sounds very cultivating. It sounds like a cult, which so that's another thing that I referenced in an email. The messages that I have to give to my daughter is just it's just beautiful. I feel like it's gold. Like I just every time I talk to my daughter, I give her gold. I give her gold, I give her jewels, gems, and rubies. Because that's all I have to give to her. And these gems, these jewels, these gems, these rubies in form of words, beautiful, lovely words, the language of love in all the ways that is beautiful. I just think there's so much for us to be appreciative about. There's just no reason to be distant, to be mad, to be angry. Like in all of the ways that we could choose, we should choose to be happy. I'll always choose happiness. Happiness for me is always with my daughter. And I feel that anybody that wants to interfere with that is somebody that doesn't like me. A recent email that I sent to my Yivi Nunia, I said to her, I said, we will conquer the enemy in any form that it takes. So, whatever the problem is, we will absolutely, it'll be absolutely under our feet. I'm just one person. I'm just one mom, you know, and I'm never giving up. So, the strength that I'm exuding right now is beautiful. The confidence that I'm exuding right now is beautiful. Do I look like somebody that's ready to give up? Anyways, no, the answer is no. But what I said to her in an email, I also referenced the documentary that I saw on Netflix of the TikTok dancers that remind me of her. She's multi-talented. And so the dancers reminds me of her. She's actually the reason that I created my own TikTok because she inspired me to try some of the dances. Yivi Nunia is just so effortlessly capable of doing. She just masters everything that she does, and I'm so proud to be her mom. I did reference that documentary that I saw in the email that I sent to her, just to tell her that there is something going on out there. Like there's people that think that their children are being recruited into cults where they're being estranged, not talking to their parents and things. And I think I'm not sure what the name of it. It's like a church or something where a cult church basically that recruited TikTok dancers and won't let them talk to their families, something like that. There's something going on out there, and I want us to be different. Okay, let's be in a league of our own. That family's devastated. I mean, for crying out loud, you know, they're all over the internet begging to talk to their daughter again, and I feel like I know what that feeling is, and that's so sad. So I don't believe that my daughter would ever be estranged or leave me to hurt me. I don't believe that she wants to hurt me. I don't believe that she would intentionally do anything to hurt me at all. And I'm pretty sure that she had to have that same understanding for me when I was experiencing my own challenges. She pretty much had to experience with me. That's something that I will always feel obligated to try to mend with us. I'll always try to make it all right again and make sure that she doesn't take it personal and she doesn't have resentment to me for the times that we were separated. And a lot of that just isn't my debt to pay, if that makes sense. So she was kept from me. She was legally kidnapped, legally but unlawfully. How strange is that? That legally and unlawfully she was kept away from me. She was told that she wasn't allowed to have a relationship with her mother. She was brainwashed to think that I didn't care or that I didn't love her, that I didn't try hard enough. I was struggling terribly. And that doesn't prove that I love you, but that proves that I am trying. And I know if there was a better way, I obviously don't know how to do that. And that's not something to hate me for. That's not something to hold against me or to villainize me or to criticize me. or to criminalize me for not knowing better than what I experienced, because I didn't know what I didn't know if I didn't know. So I know now what I didn't know before, and that's the reason that I feel so inspired to share my experience. And on the subject of estrangement, I raised that as an issue to address in court. They dismissed it. They pretty much just they disrespected me and dragged me through the dirt, and I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve to be treated like that. My daughter didn't deserve to see that happen to her mother. And I think that my daughter, in understanding her and what she's experiencing, not just as a teenager, as a growing child that's developing, our frontal lobe doesn't fully develop supposedly till we're 25. I'm having all the understanding for how all of that situation could have been very confusing to her, how maybe the respect or the understanding or the perspective that she had for me as a 7 year old when they took her from me is not the same perspective that she has now. Or is it? Because that's something that we have yet to really address in family counseling, which is something that I want us to continue with. I think we both could benefit from having therapy. It's worth the investment. I want us to continue with family counseling. That's also something that we've been trying to maintain with one another, maintaining our connection. So I just feel like there's a lot of clarity to gain from us maintaining our connection. We're going to appreciate and love one another even more for having staying connected, for having maintained our commitment in our mother-daughter relationship. That's significant. It's life to me. I've been eating shit for years. I've been eating shit for many years, in just in the hope. There's a lot of people that feel like they have to eat miles of shit in order to get anywhere with their their life, like whether it's a job where somebody's trying to get a promotion, whether they're in a situation with somebody that they just want to hold on to the bitter end with their marriage or whatever. I know that this is something that a lot of people are experiencing, and for me, I don't understand it at all. I've invested a lot of my own time, which I'm duh, it makes sense that I would, because if I'm not with my daughter, I'm talking about my daughter or I'm thinking about her. If I'm not with her, then I'm obviously thinking about how can we reunite? Like, what's the problem here? There are other influences and people that I just know are in the background. They've not been supportive at all to our relationship at all, for whatever reason, whether it's their hatred for me, which is a personal problem. That's not anything that my daughter has to endure, anybody else's hatred for me, or whether it's their jealousy for our relationship and the love that we have with one another. Have achieved a lot in very little time. And for me and my daughter, it's whether it's me utilizing the resources that I have access to, which I'm supposed to do, especially as a single woman that was basically abandoned. I was not only abandoned by my parents, I was abandoned by the person that impregnated me and left me for dead. So I really did the best that I could, and I feel like that's something that I should be appreciated for. I've been eating shit for a lot of years through the corrupted court system. It's affected myself. I've seen the way that it's affected her, and I myself have always been front and center to her to try and support her through that, because she has the power and the ability to do that, and I'm with her. And so with each other, with one another, we won't fail. We'll always succeed. We'll always overcome. We'll always be victorious. We'll always conquer. These things that we're experiencing, the situation, the issues that I'm addressing now, obviously here on my podcast, and I've been addressing it in my therapy sessions, psychiatry sessions, etc. The way that I've invested in our relationship and our future has been in a number of ways. The way that I'm creating is also investing in us, because I believe in us and I love us so much. I mean, just it's so evident that we have more with one another than we ever could apart. And I love that about us. I love that it's just the two of us, and we've just been so beautiful. We're able to do so much, and that's just saying a lot. And this is the day and age that teenagers with her level of talent, with her capabilities, with the resources that she has access to now, with technology, etc., she has everything to gain. My daughter has everything to gain. She's everything she could ever need. She deserves to have everything that she wants and more. And I'm here to remind her of that. I know that the situation, the circumstances will never tell her that. The people that she's having to deal with, it bothers me that she's living a life that I am not even involved in, and that hurts my feelings. That hurts my feelings, and I'm trying not to be selfish and saying that affects me. Because you're supposed to be telling me what's happening with you. Like, how am I supposed to know what's happening with you? How am I supposed to help you if you need help and I have no idea what you're doing or whatever? Who does that benefit is what I want to know. If that wouldn't benefit you or me in that situation, if you needed help and I wasn't able to help you, or if I needed help. I feel like I have to be able to have a communication. Like, we have to have, like, I have to get on the phone, I have to talk to you, and I have to tell you this. Like, that's just how I feel very strongly about it. Like, I want to tell you this, I want to remind you of this constantly and always. And I think that's also another thing that anybody would say, that could be another reason that children go estranged from their mothers or fathers, because of this unsolicited advice. Everything that I say, I feel, is very helpful. It's very supportive. And I love that she's growing and evolving. And I think that's beautiful. And I'm always going to celebrate her and love her no matter what. And even if, um, and I think it's all right to have an opinion. Like, I've seen that in so many relationships. For example, I was watching something with the Hiltons, and whether or not they would admit it, because they would probably say they have the best relationship with their mom, like I can see their dynamic, the mother and daughter dynamic there. I think the personality type of what is her name? What is the Hilton mom's name? I forgot her name, but she kind of takes over. She kind of takes over, but I feel like her daughters understand that, and they just align with their mom. What that tells me is that whatever the situation is with family estrangement, I want to highlight all the ways that we can maintain our connection, we can maintain our relationship, we can continue to love one another and grow with one another. It doesn't have to be the end of it, because we didn't come this far to come this far, and we're a family. Like, that means something, right? Your mom, you're my daughter. Like, it is not fair that my daughter was without her mother for years. It's not fair that I was without my daughter for years. We deserve to have one another, and we have one another. It's our God-given right. It's our choice. And that wasn't respected in the corrupted courts, and I think that caused a lot of confusion. So clarity above confusion to us, me and my daughter. Clarity above confusion to everybody and anybody experiencing these type of family issues. Address those issues and address them as a unit, as a united, and completely address those issues as a family. Like, me and my daughter are so strong and so powerful, just the two of us. The fact that we're of the female gender, the fact that I'm a single mom and I had to do everything on my own, like not only against the circumstances, but against people trying to run a smear campaign behind the scenes that I had no clue about. And I had no idea why all the doors were shutting and etc. But that's my own thing. But this is about raging against the dying of the light. That is a quote from a movie, and it's educational, etc. And I just feel like I've learned so much in studying other families and what they're experiencing. And my brain actually went to considering conservatorship, which is crazy. That's how extreme my thoughts went to how do I bring my daughter home and make sure she stays home with me, because I deserve to have that relationship with her that was taken from me. Those years, the lost time that I feel like we have to reconnect and reunite and learn each other. Like, we have to get, like, we're reintroducing one another to each other. Like, hi, how are you? How have you been? What's your favorite color now? Like, what kind of foods do you eat? Like, learning about each other, what we like, what we don't like, what music we listen to now, etc. There's so much that has happened so quickly that I've not been able to process it like in the moment. And so I've been able to just study our memories and our experiences and say, wow, there's so much to celebrate here with us, and there's so much more with our future. And so I encourage anyone and everyone that's experiencing this type of estrangement, the type of disconnect from their adult children or their children in general or their parents, etc., to rage against the dying of the light. Like, don't give up on the ones you love. I would never give up on my daughter, and I never will. I can't believe, and I don't understand how anybody can do that. I don't understand that. That's just not me. So I myself am processing this. This is all obviously something I'm talking about on my podcast, because it's something I'm experiencing, and I see that it's happening everywhere. And I have no idea if it's a cultural thing with America that kids turn 18 and just leave. But like, I considered conservatorship as a way to bring my daughter home and keep her home. Also, I am concerned about her. I'm concerned about how is she able to do this? How is she able to just be this distant and not feel strongly about reconnecting with me? It's just very concerning to me. Like, so I'm starting to question, like, is there something going on? Is somebody trying to brainwash her? Is she under the influence of something? Is there mental problems? Which she isn't exhibiting any of those problems. So conservatorship is out anyways. And I don't like any of the stories that I've seen about conservatorship. It's a fucking nightmare. Conservatorship is a nightmare for people that are trying to connect with their family, it seems to do the complete fucking opposite of what it's supposed to do, which is supposed to keep somebody that is in danger of themselves or to others safe, which it doesn't do. From what I've seen, I've not experienced that myself. And when my daughter was under a guardianship, which was terminated, I terminated the guardianship. My daughter terminated it as well, which was with the dead pedo guy that I discussed, those other people. That person was terminated. It's in the records, and I will show those records. Terminated, and it was a very similar situation where there was a weird estrangement, timed communication, restricted movements, very crazy. So that's not anything like that I'm ever going to consider at all. But it is such a crazy thought. I just want to bring her home and keep her safe. And that's what I encourage anyone, like, never give up. Don't give up. I'm never going to give up. Like, I'm going to consider what are all the options, seriously. And, you know, I guess I'll quit when I die, which I don't feel is going to be anytime soon. You know, I'm going to live my life. The corrupted courts did not respect my choice to have my daughter's choice to have her mother during the time that we were struggling, that we were our most vulnerable. And that's fine. They will respect it. They will respect our relationship. They don't have any other option. I'm not leaving anybody any options for that. The only choice is to respect mine and my daughter's relationship. I don't care about circumstances, situation, opinion of anybody. I never did, and I never will. I thought that I was doing everything right. I was obeying the rules. I was being good, and I was good for so many years, and I got dragged. They didn't appreciate me. They didn't appreciate my daughter, and that's fine. They don't have to. We don't need that. I don't need anybody's appreciation. I don't need validation. I don't need approval. I'm not asking for much. This is my God-given right. This is my natural bond and connection that I have with my daughter. She loves me, and there isn't anything that will ever make me think otherwise. I will never think, oh, she didn't, maybe. And I felt all of those human feelings: hurt, sad, angry, resentment, all of those things when somebody is hurt and feels neglected or whatever. And I can only imagine what she felt when she was 7 and ripped from my arms, you know. And that was never my choice. So I cannot ever say sorry or pick up any of the weight that all of those people tried to put on her and to me. Those people tried to forward the bill to me. They tried to make me pay for all of their wrong and their mistakes, and I'm not going to do that, and my daughter doesn't need to do that either. She doesn't have to expect me to be everything and more because of what they did or didn't do. They were never able to fill my shoes. They were never able to satisfy the responsibilities and obligations that I have as a mother. They will never be able to stand in my position. They never will. All of them put together failed miserably, and they want me to carry the shame. They want me to admit to failure. My daughter is literally a shining result of everything good about me. All of my best qualities, everything about me genetically, biologically, and naturally, my daughter exudes that. The confidence, her natural capabilities, her ability to master anything that she puts her mind to. She executes. She's beautiful, and she does it so beautifully. She checks all the boxes in everything that she does. And that's me. That's me. That doesn't have anything to do with those people. Those people didn't teach her anything. Those people didn't share anything with her. Those people are disgusting. They lost miserably. They had the opportunity to make good, to do good, to do the right thing in a child's life, and they failed. And I'm going to drag all of them. I'm going to disrespect them 100 times worse than they ever did me, because that's how I am. You know, if they did the right thing, it would be the opposite of that, right? It would be love. It would be all love, and love times that's a gazillion. But they don't get none of that, and they don't deserve to have my daughter. They don't deserve to be in the presence of her beauty and her energy. Her name is Yivi Nunia. It literally means strength and energy, and that's exactly what she exudes. And that's exactly who she is. That's my daughter. I love her, and I'm never going to give up on her ever. I'm her mother, and I'm not perfect, but I'm perfectly myself. I have my own standards, my own identity. Don't ever compare me. She's never compared me, and I never compare her. There is no comparison. You can't compete where you don't compare. Those people can never compare to us. And so they never competed with us. I love my daughter. I love her so much. This is an act of service, me publishing all of my content and highlighting her, highlighting us. I'm bringing my daughter home. They will respect